Bandai Namco have just dropped a brand new trailer for Little Nightmares 3, You're Being Watched. Hello everyone, my name is Itsjustjord, and of course, if you've caught the latest stream from Bandai Namco, we have just seen the brand new trailer, and today I am going to talk about it. Talk about some things you might have missed and some interesting details going back and watching through it again. So of course, this is going to be like a type of breakdown. With that being said, if you do enjoy Little Nightmares content, make sure you hit subscribe. We cover it quite extensively here on the channel, and of course it helps me and the channel out massively. Anyway, shameless self-promotion out of the way, let's get into the actual video. So we start with a shot from Low and Alone with a camera panning outwards, revealing that they're being watched on a monitor. And obviously as a few frames pass, we can also see how many areas of the candy factory are being watched, and it's quite interesting. We have a few angles that we already know of. Everything I can see in the monitors is everything that's been shown to us at some point, especially one or two of them have just been revealed now, and I do wonder if they purposely hid a few of these monitors to hide some certain sections of the factory still. And then of course we get a daunting shot of the supervisor checking out the cameras, watching Low and Alone as they go through the level, and then we see her raising her slender sharp fingers, clicking the buttons on the console, and I've got to say, it really sets the tone. And then we get a quick shot of the camera panning in to highlight all the monitors and then focus on one. Interestingly enough, all of these monitors, like I said earlier, we recognize from some place in the factory that we've already seen, but two here are ones I would like to highlight, and of course that's the middle left and the bottom right. These look like the only two extra places we are going to see so far. Now again, there's not much detail in what they are and what they hold, but it's definitely something new that we haven't already seen. And then of course we get some lovely shots roaming around the candy factory as the supervisor watches them. Of course this isn't anything we've seen new as of yet until we get to the shot of Alone pulling on a lever and it highlighting some kind of spillage or like overflow. But interestingly enough, we can see, as well as the many beetles on the floor, we can also see there is a hand. Now I'm going to assume that's a hand from one of the factory workers that has possibly fell in or has been forced into the overflow pipe. And then of course we get a really cool shot of a top-down view of the supervisor at the console again. I do wonder if this is going to be something similar that we see in Little Nightmares a lot, where Low and Alone are going to have to sneak past her. And then of course we get to see a brand new room, which looks to be like some kind of sewing room, something that holds all the garments for the supervisor. As we can see, these big dresses are in front of Low and Alone, and to the left of them we can see that there is a sewing machine to the left. So of course, whether she maintains her own dresses, I imagine with the many hands that she has, she probably has a few hobbies on the side. And then we see a door with a poster on, and of course some hands coming through. Now I'm going to assume the hands of the factory workers there are definitely dead. But of course the poster is really interesting because of course we get to see the supervisor in a different light, how she's meant to be, friendly here, or she's advertising this product that they're making. And of course, in the Nowhere fashion, none of the text we can read. As I've mentioned before, and I think a lot of it is very much like a dream sense, so you can't read when you're in a dream, and I think that's what it's trying to convey here. And then of course we get the supervisor catching Low and Alone in 4K, creating vandalism in the Nowhere, which again I am all for. It looks really interesting. At least they're adding some more mechanics in. And then of course we see another shot of the production line of the candy, and then we get a really cool shot of the supervisor slamming all of her hands on the console in anger. Now I've tried to have a look at the monitors, but I feel like they're purposely going to be hiding whatever this is in a response to. But other than that, the sound design here is absolutely phenomenal. And then of course we get to see Low and Alone enjoying a quick candy break. I believe Low has the toffee apple, or I hope it is, and of course Alone has the candy stick, and behind them we see the supervisor emerging, and I imagine this is where a chase begins in good old Little Nightmares fashion. And of course beside them we can see some more treats, so it isn't just candies and toffee apples that are being made. And then of course we get a few shots of Low and Alone running, setting the tone, One thing I really find interesting is when they're running through like this big tall shelving area and they've got one of the factory workers just gliding along. I don't know if that's going to be like an actual enemy, but I actually think in like tense scenes like this it would really play well, because of course they could catch up a lot quicker than the supervisor, and then they could just drop down and grab you. And I really think it would be quite interesting. And then we get a really cool shot of the supervisor breaking the glass in the door, trying to reach them, and of course we get to see her arms and her fingers and her nails, and it looks really freaky. And then of course they expand on this by showing a further chase with the supervisor. And I don't know about you, but for me personally, every resident we've seen in Little Nightmares 3 is already kind of checking all the boxes for me, especially the supervisor. It really gives it that dark, twisted, horror-like feel. And just as you thought the candy factory couldn't get any worse, as the camera pans down to Low and Alone, we can really see that they are collecting teeth and gums. I'm just hoping these are like a theme of Sweet 2, because ew. And then of course we get some more in-action shots of the supervisor chasing Low and Alone. And again, the sound design here just absolutely is 10 out of 10. I'm really getting that unsettling vibe from the screamings of the supervisor. It really plays well into the tone of the level. And then of course we come to a bit of an interesting point. We actually see Low and Alone opening a door, but as they open the door they can hear something going on inside, and of course it sounds as if bones are breaking, things are snapping. It's sort of similar to the sounds, of course, if you take out like the gurgling and stuff, but it's sort of similar to how it sounded when Six was snapping the fingers off of the patient's arms in Little Nightmares 2. And then we get to see Low and Alone looking up at all the security monitors as they've fallen down. This doesn't look to be the area from earlier with the console. This area looks to be more hidden and neglected, almost like an embarrassment to the supervisor. And then of course we get a face-to-face with the supervisor, and I must say I absolutely love the character design. Again, like I mentioned earlier, everything about the supervisor just ticks the box for me. She is actually scary. Not just one of those, oh, it's in the moment I'm being chased kind of scary. She is actually generally terrifying. And then of course we get the lovely sign off. Unfortunately no release date as of yet, but art takes time to make, and of course let them cook, because quite frankly so far everything I've seen I am super excited for Little Nightmares 3, and I think you are too. And again, if you are looking forward to the theories and some content coverage of it, please hit subscribe. Of course I'm going to be covering it like mad the closer we get to the release date. But of course, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the supervisor. Let me know what you think about this trailer. Let me know if I missed anything. You know, sometimes I do miss a few bits. I don't know, I'm still not wow. I don't know if you could tell by the low energy of this video, but yeah, I'm still recovering. But anyway, enough about me. How are you? But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a lovely morning, day or night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next Little Nightmares theory video. Bye!